I got new opportunities because shortly after, no, shortly before the exam, I got a new role. That was when I started my new role at CyberSoc Africa. I remember during the interview, I really made case out of financial modeling and leading a finance team, right? And well, unfortunately, I was going to use it. I wanted to use it in my previous work, which was at Nine Payment Service Bank. But yes, this juicy role came in and was really, really helpful. FMA was really helpful in getting that role because now I have to really participate and help the organization in project financing. My name is Samuel George, AFM, ACA. Currently, I work at CyberSoc Africa. At CyberSoc Africa, I'm currently the finance manager for Nigeria operation. How I heard about the FMA was when I was really researching on how to grow myself within the investment banking space and know more about investment and wanted to learn financial modeling thoroughly. And I came across D. Brown. Although I have known D. Brown for a very long time, we met ICANN level space. So I enrolled for a financial modeling academy last year. So it was from there the FMA stuff really came out, and I told myself, okay, I think I would really love to go for this course. And one of the major reasons was because FMA was the major reason. I mean, sitting for AFM exam was the major reason I did a course with D. Brown last year, but I couldn't have the exam. But luckily for me, FMA came up, scholarship came up, and I tapped into it. And now today I'm an FMA. It was really a sweet experience. Honestly, it was a beautiful experience in the sense that because it was self-paced, we have some self-paced classes, and it was really good. Explanations of basic principles was very clear, and especially when we got to the part of step by step of passing AFM exam was really wonderful. And I honestly appreciate the fact that that we actually had classes that we teach you how to build financial modeling for real life setting, and we had the one that would really help you to pass AFM exams. I think that is really, really cool for me. For some, maybe it's possible in some places, they will just teach you on how to pass the exam. And once you pass the exam, you are good. Then after passing the exam, you are now coming back to face real life situations. But right now, okay, I honestly can fix into real life situation.
Hello, I'm David Brown. I'm here to talk to you about the Financial Modeling Academy Scholarship for Africa. We're so proud to bring this to you in partnership with Financial Modeling Institute. This completely crashes the price of the wonderful Financial Modeling Academy, where you're going to learn all the different things in 8 weeks, all the different things about how you build models from scratch, valuation, also understanding how to do the exam, the cost of the exam, the cost of actually the mock exam, the cost of the exam prep guide, the cost of all the past examination reviews, the cost of the program itself, and then the general cost of the community that you're going to join to answer all your questions. All of this at a hugely discounted rate. So click here to see how you can benefit from this wonderful experience, and let's join for the next academy and the next cohort. I'll see you in the next cohort.
I'm Evelyn Nwogu. I'm a finance professional, about 13 years experience within the financial services space. I work with ARM investment managers as a financial controller. Okay, I really wasn't looking to delve into financial modeling, but I was privileged to attend the DAMC event earlier in the year, that's Data Analyst Modeling Conference. And I got to speak with David Brown, and he introduced the Financial Modeling Academy to me. And one thing that really caught my attention was the deep discount was coming at. It was coming at a very affordable rate. So I was like, why not? Plus, I had other trainings with D Brown, and my expectation was really high. So I felt, why not give it a try? So I jumped online and joined the cohorts, the early cohorts, writing the exam. And trust me, no regrets. It was good value for money. So yes, I'm a finance professional with finance background, but we had people from different spheres within the cohort, and everybody, to a very large extent was able to, keep up. I feel like the academy there was value, double value. One, you're able to brush up your skills as a finance professional. Even if you didn't have any finance background, you get to have some bit of finance experience plus the financial modeling skill. It was a very great experience. The journey was smooth. The D Brown Academy, D Brown Consulting gave all necessary resources and support needed for one to succeed along this financial modeling journey. The sessions were very interactive, or let me say the videos were very interactive and properly structured. It was delivered flawlessly. And then we had weekly live mentor sessions where we had interactions with David Brown and the rest of the cohort. And then we got to see different perspectives to different things. So you never attend a live session and leave without value being added to you. So the whole journey was very expository, very insightful, and we were prepared 100% for the exam by the time we were ready to go.
I am Olamide Goriofe. I work with Kairos Capital as a corporate finance analyst, and coming into this financial modeling academy was because of my love for numbers, and in my role, I need to build financial model. I've been doing financial modeling for about 3 years now, from 2020, the COVID year, and when I saw the advert for the financial modeling academy, it was really a huge one for me. Although I was not even prepared for it, but getting to see the huge discount and the value, it's made me opt in for the training and the academy. And getting into the academy was a huge one for me. I've been in doing 1 or 2 things with Deep Brown before. I was part of the bootcamp participant before, but the training in the academy was on another level for me because of the structure and the way the modules were being structured, and the way the tutor with David Brown took us in the course. One other thing that stand out for me was the mock exam, because it really took me off gear for me, because my plan of the exam, I've not done the exam before, but getting to do the mock exam showed me my real self, that I'm not prepared. And another thing that stood out for me is the case-by-case, step-by-step guide in answering the exam. That stood all out for me, because for me, I already have issues with the revolving debt schedule before coming into the academy, but getting to see the step-by-step guide in answering the exam really helped me. And also the case study questions, like we have about 6 to 7 that we had to do, and I had to practice them for the exam. That really made the exam a breeze for me when I did it. Thank you.
My name is Olutimilei Olushoyi. I work at Rand Merchant Bank as a corporate and investment graduate analyst. I heard about the FMA scholarship with Deep Brown when I transitioned from law to finance at training school. A friend made mention of the program, encouraging me to do it to skill up as a lawyer moving into core finance. What made me decide to join was the generous discount on the scholarship that made it really affordable, and I joined in. I joined for the scholarship, but I stayed because of the quality of the program. The FMA itself has a very fixed scope, but Deep Brown went ahead to take you through everything you need to know about financial modeling, even for modeling for an existing business. And that really stood out for me, because later on at work, it will come to a point where working on a model that has existing financials and you need to clean the financials, having that knowledge from the Deep Brown training was very helpful. What changed for me after enrolling for the academy? I was able to skill up on Excel, because the program begins first by giving you access to advanced Excel training to prepare you to move faster on modeling, and that knowledge is portable across different areas of working as an analyst. Even if you are not modeling, the insistence on learning how to navigate with shortcuts and things like that has really made me more efficient at work, especially due to the kind of routine tasks and reporting I do. Would I recommend FMA to someone else? Absolutely. I think everyone should pick the FMA. It's a very good way, especially if you're transitioning, like in my case, to get into what being an analyst is all about and to do it at a pace that is very comfortable. I had to postpone my exam from the first time, and you have the luxury to do that. So it made it easy for me to do and feel prepared and pass and get certified. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me clearly now. I'm wondering why I have two visuals. If I just have one, that would be best. I have one by the side. Yeah, so how are we doing, everybody? And we're here to just have a career discussion, general career discussion on financial modeling, right? Financial modeling as a career. Now, I wouldn't mind having some of your questions in. So if you pop up your questions on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram, I can see all your questions from there, and my colleagues will basically share them with me. I have my phone here ready to look at your questions from all the routes, right? All right. Okay, so great stuff. So financial modeling. First of all, who am I? I'm David Brown. I'm managing partner at D Brown Consulting. I've been building models for, let's say, 30 years, and I think I've been building models for a very long time. But one thing about modeling is it kind of helps you. What's a model? What's a financial model actually? Right. So it's basically it's how will I call it? It's a summary of the business on a spreadsheet. Let me see that. I've just created a new definition. I have so many. The entire summary of the business on a spreadsheet with giving you the ability to simulate different aspects of the business and see what the forecasted outcomes will look like, right? So that's what the model is. It gives you an ability to basically simulate a business, even simulate a business that doesn't even exist, right? A business to be. You want to do a project finance stuff or a project finance model. There's so many things you could do when it comes to modeling, right? Modeling is very vast. But one thing about financial modeling that's quite interesting is the fact that you can't say, I'm going to go and study financial modeling in university. I say it's interesting. I say it's interesting, but also I don't kind of like that you can't go and say, I want to study financial modeling in the university. Because I wish you could, because I think you should, but unfortunately you can't, right? Why can't you study financial modeling in the university? Well, it's not offered in the university. Why isn't it offered in the university as a bachelor's degree? Well, the issue is for you to be able to build models, you first of all need to have some form of business acumen, right? You need to understand business. You need to understand how business runs. And typically the way to understand business is you need financials. You need to understand P&L, balance sheet, cash flow statement. You need to understand financial statements to a certain level. Then you need to be very curious as a person, be able to ask critical questions around the business. You understand the numbers so well, you're a very good analyst, you can analyze the numbers, and you're able to know in a deeper sense what makes the business tick, what makes the business make money. How does this business make money? You're able to ask those questions, right? And then say, okay, understanding the business, then identifying what are the key problems the business has. And identifying the key problems the business have, we like to call those drivers. What's driving the business? What thing, if it changes by 1%, the business can lose 50% of their money? What is that thing? It changes by a little percentage, a big aspect of the business is going to be in trouble. Or it changes by a little percentage and the business will do super well. So what are those critical drivers that drives the business? What's that business niche? What's that makes that business tick? Right? You should kind of know that. You should identify those things, and your model should be able to tweak those things, and you simulate the future and how the future looks. Right. So modeling is that, and again, financial modeling basically means most of the outputs are financial, kind of financial in nature. So they're financial statements, PRL, balance sheet, cash flow statements, statement of sources and uses of funds, or valuation. And it depends on what exactly it is you want to get out of the business. What's that problem you want to solve? What is that thing you want to get insight on? That's what financial modeling is about. It's super vast, and what I'm here is just listen to you and see what questions you have if you think you'd want to build a career in financial modeling. And what does a career in financial modeling look like, right?
quite a lot of people that are financial models work in FP&A. Now, what is FP&A? Who knows what that means? What's FP&A? FP&A, financial planning and analysis. So those folks in financial planning analysis, they also kind of delve into strategy when it comes to corporate strategy. So you have people with titles like a corporate strategist, yeah, business intelligence analyst. What intelligence are you trying to get? Getting intelligence of the business, right? So all of those, I think, still fall under analysis. Financial analysis, financial modeling is like taking those analyses and saying, okay, based on everything I know about this business, let's project something to the future. Should we go to this new product? Should we use this new product? Should we buy this company out? Should we divest this company and those two companies can then run faster together, faster separately? So that's what modeling is all about. So what are the careers you can get? What are those interesting careers you can get from financial modeling? FP&A is definitely one. Anything financial in nature, anything that has to do with advisory, anything that has to do with planning, budgeting, any planning has numbers. So you definitely need modeling. So what does a CEO do? I would say a CEO, his job is basically to look, almost have a looking glass, a special looking glass into the future, and ensure that the company can survive that to that future, the company can thrive in the future, which means the CEO is supposed to be looking 3 years, 5 years, 7 years down the line. What are those risks that we need to mitigate? You can become a risk modeler. Being a risk modeler is still part of financial modeling. There's risks elements to it that you want to identify. What are those risks we need to mitigate? What are those opportunities we need to get, right? And what's the market looking like? Are we in the right market in the next 3 years? Are we in the right market? All those are things that you as a modeler need to ask yourself and see, how can I help answer these questions, right? Okay, so let me see if there are any questions. Financial planning analysis, yes. Financial planning analysis, you got that. That's Oduwa Kemi saying, what is FP&A? So you have buy side, sell side analyst, equity research analyst. If we Google, in fact, let me see if I can share my screen and let's play around online and see if we can get some information, different sets of information about different things around financial modeling. I'll share my screen now and let's see. Let me see which screen I'm going to share. I have loads of screens. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's share. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. And what I've done is I've gone to the Brown Consulting website. It's a good website for you to go to try and get resources. And you want resources on financial modeling, what I advise you do, come to resources. We have a special feature that we're doing called Spotlights. Now, if you want to learn financial modeling in a career, it's good to see what other people have done with it in their career. So what D Brown Consulting is doing is spotlighting some amazing modelers. The latest spotlight, for example, is for Edward Bodmer. This spotlight just came out recently. Edward, I think, is, okay, I'm biased, right? I'll say Edward is the top financial modeler globally. I'll consider him one of the best brains in financial modeling globally. I was highly unfortunate not to learn about Edward a long time ago. I just kind of, well, let's say the last 10 years, I've probably known of Edward, but I've been in this industry for almost 20-something years. And I haven't really gone deeper into all Edward's amazing abilities. So you go read out this financial, go to D Brown Consulting, go to resources, then go to financial modeler Spotlight, and go read about Edward. And one of the best books I recommend for you in financial modeling is this book, Corporate and Project Finance Modeling, Theory and Practice. And in our interview with Edward, I think Edward said he's kind of getting out the new version of the book soon. So there's a new version coming. If you read the blog post about him, you will see what he says. I mean, there's one amazing invention he made around UDFs, user-defined functions for solving circularities in project finance model. So doing sculpting, all the, there's a lot of sculpting and complex calculations in project finance modeling. he's kind of shown how to do that in a much cleaner way using his special UDF. So go read about him and read about other people that we've spotlighted. You could go read about them as well. So that's resources. You go to dbrownconsulting.net, you click resources, you go to financial modeling spotlight, and then you pick spotlight for different people. You can see this is Lance Rubin. Lance Rubin has done amazing work. He's the CEO of Model Citizen. You go and read about what he's done in modeling and all the different aspects of modeling that he's contributed to. Right. So that's one way you can check out people. Another way you can go and check out our resources. Just click on resources again. Maybe go to watch if you're interested in watching or not reading or stuff. You can click watch. When you go to watch, you can go to financial modeling to the right side here. You can click financial modeling, and these are all you can see. This is what I'm doing right now, and you can go and read about things. There's one interesting one: financial modeling gone wrong, by Ian Schnorr. Ian Schnorr is the executive director of the Financial Modeling Institute. Yes, there's an institute for financial modeling, and what they do is they've standardized modeling, or kind of standardized the testing for modelers. So if you want to be a financial modeler, of course you need to validate somebody. Maybe someone in the world wants to hire you. You need to know that, oh, this person truly knows what he's doing. All right, so this person knows financial modeling. How do they do that? Well, you can go to the Financial Modeling Institute's website, fminstitute.com, and then go check out their programs. Their main program is the Advanced Financial Modeler Certification. And if you trust your modeling skills, go try it out and do the exam, right? Do the exam. This is the cost of the exam, $725. But it's an amazing exam. You have 4 hours where you need to build a model from scratch. You actually build a detailed model, P&L balance sheet, cash flow summary analysis in 4 hours. Not an easy feat. But yeah, so you can go watch Ian's Financial Modeling Gone Wrong series, where he's talking about how financial modelers go wrong. And you can just click on replay to take it to the replay link, which is on LinkedIn. And you can go and watch all the different events, right? So these are webinars which you can watch and kind of learn for free. Just go to a section. So this is
very transparent. In fact, that takes us to
modeling with integrity. No, this is a different link to something else. Modeling with integrity. Okay, that's me. I did a session on modeling with integrity, ethical standards for financial professionals. Now, when you go to LinkedIn, I would advise you go to D Brown Consulting's page on LinkedIn. And then once you get to D Brown Consulting's page, you could go to the events section. Go to the events section on LinkedIn. If I go to events, and then you'll be able to see past events. You can see 19 past events. Nearly all of them are modeling, right? FMA alumni spotlights. We're spotlighting some people. If you want to have a career in financial modeling, check out FMA alumni spotlight and see those that have passed the exams, what they're doing. I think there's one interesting one on some people making really good money in financial modeling, right? Building an exceptional financial models. I know there's some about people, how they are impacting their lives and impacting other people with their financial models. How to execute financial modeling gigs. How do you execute a gig, a financial modeling gig? This sounds interesting. Let me open it. Artificial intelligence and financial modeling. Modern Excel, the new fundamentals you must know. FMA Spotlight, financial modeling with integrity. Financial models gone wrong, right? We are building an investor-ready model, turning assumptions into conviction. How to use Excel like a pro, report automation and analytics. So you could go watch these webinars, right? And then this is how to execute a financial modeling gig, right? So how do you execute a gig? So how do you build models and earn money executing a gig? So this, you could go and watch all these sessions for free. Yeah. So you see phase 5 or 6 is evaluate, data and stress test. Something you could. So go and learn how to execute a gig. But you need to know modeling first, right? You need to know modeling first. And to know modeling first, you probably will need training. The cheapest training basically globally in the world with a certification, I think, is Financial Modeling Academy. So you could Google Financial Modeling Academy or go to D Brown Consulting's webpage and go to resources, or go to training and then go to Financial Modeling Academy. I think the deadline is already approaching, and there are 2 cohorts a year, November and May two cohorts. So you can choose a route if you want a scholarship here from Africa. You can choose the Africa residence if you're living anywhere in Africa at all. You can prove that you're living somewhere in Africa, you get the Africa resident route. If you're part of our accredited students or accredited institutions, a student in an accredited institution, you can do this route. So click on this, be able to join the academy. You get a huge amount in the academy, including this exam. You're going to get this exam, but the most important thing is we'll teach you how to become a world-class modeler, and then you'll be able to be certified by the Financial Modeling Institute. So it's a good thing you do that. But careers in financial modeling, let's see. How much do financial modelers earn? Right, let's find out. Let's see, how much do financial modelers earn? Okay, so this is AI. Let's I don't know if AI is telling the truth. Let's check. So AI is saying financial modeler salaries vary significantly based on experience, location, and employer, with average annual earnings ranging from about $125,000 in the United States to 231 lakh in India. Well, I don't know how India's money works. Entry-level positions may start around $70,000. Now, this is financial modeling as an employee, right? Especially in the advanced world, you'll be able to pay that. But guess what? You can also be a freelancer. Let me say, how much do financial modeler earn as freelancers? As freelancers, let's say freelancing. So you could decide, you know what, I'm going to be a freelancer. I build models in the weekend and stuff like that. Freelance financial modelers can earn anywhere between $25 to $65 per hour, right? Those top professionals can charge significantly more, with some reports of $132 per hour or higher, and annual income potentially reaching, okay, this India, I don't know why things I'm in India, but anyway, okay, approximately $44,000, right? Annual income. So you can build a career. How do you build a career? Learn the stuff first, be very good, build models, create a blog about it, either work with an institution, or you could decide you want to be a freelancer, but do get your certificate first. They must prove you have to get a certificate first. Then you can go to freelancer.com, upwork.com, and become a freelancer. It's freelancer.com, is it? Freelancer.com and look for work around this, post a project, or look for hire a freelancer. Let's click hire a freelancer by skill, by location, let's say by skill, right? And then you choose and say, okay, I want to hire a financial modeler. Let's see, I don't have an account in freelancer.com, so maybe it won't allow me to, but these are the sites where you can get work, right, as a financial modeling expert, right? Now, one of the key things you need to learn is how to become a financial modeler, that's one, but also how to pass the exams. We also have a course as part of the Financial Modeling Academy, step by step on how you do the exams. And then we give you a set of mock exams. These are all sorts of mock exams which you go through to polish your skills before the exam, right? You learn the fundamental skills in financial modeling, you learn fundamental Excel skills, and then you're also part of an Agile Mind community. You'll be part of two communities. So I encourage you, financial modeling is an exciting career, and I think it's something that truly you'll be amazed how amazing the kind of skill set you gain by understanding business and then earning money, building really wonderful models for clients, right? So that's financial modeling. Let me come back. Let me come to the Financial Modeling Institute. I want to see if I can show you some resources. I know they have some interesting resources around careers in financial modeling. Let's check the Financial Modeling Institute's website. So resources, let's check out some resources and how to customize quick financial modeling formatting, why financial models are important. So this is the Financial Modeling Institute's website, which you could check for additional information and resources. Career paths. Let's look at career paths. This looks interesting. So what are the career paths for financial modeling? So according to the Institute, let's see what they think are career paths. Download best practice guide, lots of nice resources. So investment banking, financial models are used during the advisory process to guide companies on capital raising activity, including IPO, mergers and acquisitions. I've talked about FP&A, financial plan analysis, corporate banking, commercial banking, private private equity, corporate development, venture capital, hedge funds, equity research, accounting, consulting. So it opens up a whole set of opportunities for you, just being able to build models, right? Building really interesting models. And so it's something that I know you would definitely love, and it's something that you can become self-sufficient. And the people that have an unfair advantage, who are they? People that have an unfair advantage are the accountants, right? The accountants have an unfair advantage because they know accounting, and so they are able to, because you need to know a little bit, you need to understand numbers, financials, and the language of financials is accounting. Yeah, you agree with me? So the language of financials is accounting. So accountants will be able to understand the numbers, but it doesn't mean they can build models. They may be good accountants and they're terrible in Excel. You still need Excel skills. You need to be able to spreadsheet skills. How do you use spreadsheets very well? You need critical thinking skills. You need to critically think through problems in the system as in understanding what are the problems the business has, how are these things connected. So a good accountant may not be a good financial analyst. So you need to also be a good financial analyst. To be able to take the numbers, break it down, do ratio analysis, understand why potentially this business is going under, because you can see the trend, you can interpret the trend over time. So being a good financial modeler, it's multifaceted. Okay, so somebody stopped by to ask you a question. What keeps you keep going? So I have someone ask a question. What keeps you keep going? Can you ask the question again? I don't understand what that means. And your name, if you could give me your name, because your handle, let me see your handle. I can't really. What keeps you keep going? Yeah, I'm not sure I understand the question. Another question. I joined the May 2025 cohort and you promised to add valuation. Oh, yes, I did. I'm hoping it will be added, yes. So for those our alumni, we are all going to get your valuation course for free. So there's a valuation course so that we keep on kind of changing things and stuff, but we'll release it. And once we release it, you always get it. So promises will be kept. You will get the valuation course as part of it. But have you passed? Dennis, have you passed the exam? Dennis, I hope you've done the exam and passed. I really love to know. We have Olukemi saying, good to hear. I want to know more about project finance modeling. And is it different from AFM? Yes. Project finance modeling is different. It's pretty different. Let me see if I can pull up some information for you. Okay, let me just explain what project finance modeling is. So when you have financial modeling, right, you have corporate modeling, project modeling. It's a corporate finance modeling, project finance modeling. Corporate finance modeling, what does that mean? It means this corporate exists. This is a company that exists, and this company basically is running a business. Everybody knows, okay, this company is running a business. And once that business is already running and bringing in revenue, if you want to finance the business, you're financing the business based on maybe there's a loan, or maybe the business has some monies already from all the past successes they've had, right? Accountants, you know that as retained earnings, and then you can use that to kind of fund the business. So you're funding the business with what they already have. Corporate, so it's a corporate that currently exists, right? A project finance is basically saying that, hey, we're going to finance this business, not with the monies they already had in the past and the monies they continue to get, but we're going to finance this project based on what the specific project is bringing to the table. So project finance means you're going to set up an SPV. You have to set up a special purpose vehicle, like a separate company. And this SPV is going to house all the assets. What are the assets? You're going to say, hey, I'm going to build a solar plant. So it's basically a completely new field. It could be a completely new field or an old field you want to fix up. Maybe somebody had I don't know, a groundnut factory or something, and unfortunately it kind of went moribund and nothing happened. And now you're coming in, you see an opportunity. The government has put in some policies in place, and the government is saying, hey, we need investors, somebody to come and buy up this massive groundnut plantation or whatever. And you're like, you know what? I don't mind coming in, but I'm going to finance this by project financing. So I'm going to set up a special purpose vehicle. I'm going to get a loan. I'm going to get financiers, equity investors, debt investors, and say, hey guys, come, we've calculated that it's going to take us $150 million to fix this whole thing up. It's going to take us 18 or 20 months to fix this up. After 20 months, we're going to start making money, and this is how the monies are going to come in. Bring your money now, and then finance that project, and then we'll get paid from the returns or the operations of that project and how well those operations are coming in, how well the monies are coming in from actual operations. So this is project financing. The financing is coming from the project. How do you pay for the financing? The project is making money. And so think about it. If I'm an equity investor and we have some debt investors, they're bringing in $200 million for this. It's a risk. How are we sure that when the business starts making money, those monies are going to come back? So you need a model. So you need a detailed model, and you need lots and lots of gates. I call them gates. Gates like, okay, this $200 million, equity investors, you guys are bringing only 30% of the money. Debt investors are bringing 70% of the money. You have to model that. And then you say, okay, equity investors, bring in, we're going to share this 200 million is going to be spent as 10 million over 20 months or something like that. 10 million over 20 months. How are we going to be funding every month? 10 million. Equity, bring in your money. Debt, bring in your money. And then the interest on the debt, we're going to kind of pack that together. We're going to have all of that, the 200 million plus the interest, maybe let's say is another 40 million. So total funding requirements, 240 million. People have invested. Then as the business starts making money, you get paid, you're getting paid. And the way people are going to get paid is going to be very structured in a legal agreement. Who is getting money first? Who's getting money next? Who's getting money? The person to get money last is always the equity holders. But your model will be able to calculate and say the project is profitable. The debt holders get a certain return, the equity holders get a certain return. You calculate the internal rate of return, which is like the valuation of the project. This project will last 25 years, and equity holders are going to make 23% from the project. Debt holders are going to make 19% from the project. This set of people are going to make this. The government is going to be happy because it's going to provide employment for 50,000 people. That is project finance. So can a corporate do that? Yes, a corporate can do that. A corporate can invest in that project. But if the corporate invests in that project, and let's assume it's not project finance, if that project fails, the people can sue the company and get money out of the company to pay for that project that failed, money that came from somewhere else. But if it's project finance, if that project fails, it's locked down as a separate entity. That's what makes it project finance. It's locked down as a separate SPV, right? So as a modeler, you can model anything. You can model that. So the big thing about project finance is this whole money, are we all going to get our money back? And one of the big things in project finance is they are going to sculpt the debt. So that debt is a big chunk. How do you do it in a way that some months, some quarters, you're not going to make money? You can't end the project and say, give me my money. No, you need the project to continue. You need the business to continue running. So you're going to have to change the way you're repaying the debt over time, especially the principal. And that is called debt sculpting. So those are technicalities. So for the Financial Modeling Academy, what they're going to do is a corporate finance model. You're going to take the financials of a real company, like you go to the stock exchange and download the financials of a real company. And then you're going to break down the financials, understand how the business works, go to the notes to the accounts that the accountants have, understand it, restructure the P&L, restructure the balance sheet. And then why are you restructuring? You're trying to identify drivers. What really drives the business? And then you build your three-statement model, P&L, balance sheet, cash flow, and your detailed analysis. So that's a corporate finance model. Okay, I'm going to show you types of models. Let me show you a spreadsheet with all the different types of models, so you have a general idea what this profession is about. Let me share my screen. I'll show you types of models, okay? Let me see. Share screen. Okay, let me stop sharing one screen. I'm going to share another one. Let's see. Types of models. Window, yeah, okay, great. So I'm sure you can see my screen now, can you? Okay. So look at, I put together financial modeling universe. What are the different types of models we have? So I've broken them down into core valuation and corporate finance models, FP&A planning and operations models. Let me remove this AI. Sector and business model specific. So this is a sector model, very specialized modeling. So, and then what's the core? Core valuation models, corporate finance models. This is analysis of companies' fundamental worth and financial decision-making process. That's what this is, right? Then you have the FP&A and planning and operation model. This is the process of budgeting, forecasting, analyzing financial performance to support strategic decision making. So this is where you have your strategy departments and all of those kind of models is what they do. Then you have all those sector-specific, business-specific models. Here is relating to unique characteristics and assumptions tailored to particular industries, right, or business approaches on financial analysis. So they have unique things like a bank. It's pretty unique. Insurance is unique. You get. Then you have risk and analytics. This is also modeling, the process of identifying, assessing, and quantifying potential financial uncertainty and their impact. Then you have models that are transaction and restructuring models. These ones are processes involving the modification of a company's financial structure or ownership through deals and reorganization. Then you still have tax, equity, and ownership models. Here's where your allocation and management of financial interests and obligations among stakeholders in a project or a company. For example, your company may decide to build a model. You want to start an ownership scheme for your staff where everybody kind of gets shares in a certain way, and how they get the shares, how they vest and not vest. You need a model. Then you also have performance and value creation models, right? The process of generating financial returns and increasing wealth through strategic business activity. So if I open this up for you, you will see the very, very, very first model that you need to master is three-statement modeling. This whole list has, let me see, how many do I have on this list? I have, let me highlight this column. So I have about 65, let's just say 60 different types of models, right? 60, not small, right? 60 different types of models. And under core modeling, you need to learn three-statement modeling. How do you build a model that has income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, and all the drivers and checks and restructuring? So it's a corporate finance model, three-statement model. So this is the fundamentals of what you would learn. Once you know this, the rest, I would say, are easy, but the rest makes sense. Every other model kind of ties to those principles you will learn in three-statement modeling. DCF modeling is basically evaluation. If you check one of my prior webinars, you'll see when I talked about time value of money. And money has a time value. How do you, all the cash flow, when you buy a business or you buy anything, what are the future benefits? That's what you're buying. You're buying future enjoyment, future benefits. So if you can identify what those future benefits are, all the way to the future, and then you now ask yourself, what is my expectation of a return? What will I say no to? What will I say yes to when it comes to returns? Let's assume it's 15% return I require. You will now take all those future benefits, you discount them to today. That is valuation. That is what valuation is. You're taking all the future benefits that you've modeled and you're discounting them to today. So $100 today is worth $100. $100 a year from now is not worth $100. It's probably today, because if you take $100 a year from now, bring it back to today, you're going to discount it. It's probably worth $90, right? So all the future money, you discount it. So that's DCF. Then you have trading comparables, still valuation, precedent transactions, you have mergers, you have accretion, you have leverage buyouts, right? All these are core valuation and corporate models, corporate finance models. Then you have your FP&A, driver-based budgeting, rolling forecast, revenue build, cost, volume, profit analysis, break-even analysis, pricing models. These are your FP&A models, right? Then you have your sector models, as I said. These are very sector-specific. Software as a service cohort. You have all your different ARR, MRR, churn rate, expansion, cohort, LTV, all this, especially venture capital kind of language. And you need to build models for those. Marketplace models, subscription models, energy models, mining model, pharma model, media, airline, banking, So banking model, if I show you a banking model now, very complex, there's Basel 3, Basel 2. At the end of the day, when you do three statement modeling, you have a general idea. Revenue, cost. So for a bank, what is the revenue? Oh, the revenue is, there's certain things about a bank that uniqueness is regulation. You need to be vast as a modeler, right? So that's sector specific modeling, right? So project finance falls under all of these aspects because at the end of the day, you're just financing this thing from a special purpose vehicle, all right? Risk and analytics, these are models, value at risk, stress testing. You can build stress testing models into your bank modeling because you must have stress testing in your bank modeling. So your models can be a combination of different types of models, but it's a good idea to know what it is. One other aspect of modeling you should know is I can break it down into two. You could say models are either deterministic or stochastic. What do I mean? Deterministic models is one point in time. You're saying price is $20, quantity is 50, 20 times 50, 1,000. Deterministic in the sense that it's just one single value times one single value. What about when you're not too sure and you need to run a simulation of values? You need to do a long list of values because you're not too sure about how the data, how accurate the data is. So you need to do some statistics, do some distribution analysis, do Monte Carlo simulation. So that's a different aspect where you're not certain about some inputs, right? You can use statistical techniques to reduce your risk, right? So that's why you see Monte Carlo simulation, real option analysis. What's a real option analysis? You're saying, okay, if I'm going to try and get this project, I'm not sure I'm going to get the project. I'm bidding for the project. So if I'm bidding for the project, if I win the bid, I'll have this value. If I lose the bid, zero value. So you have value to zero. How do you value such a thing? There is an option. So even if I win the bid, there's also an option to do A, an option to do B, an option to do C. You need to model all of that. So you need to use real option analysis to model it. You can see how it gets complex, right? Transactions and restructuring. These are all models. IPO. Are you going to the stock exchange using a SPAC? Are you doing debt refinancing? You can go into a corporate model and say, hey, we want to refinance our debt. Can you help us? You first need to build a detailed corporate model. Then you need to now build deep, detailed debt refinancing into that corporate model, right? Yes, all modeling, right? And then your tax modeling. I mean, people in Nigeria, the tax laws just changed, right? You have Petroleum Industry Act, and the new tax laws are starting in 2026, January 2026. You have to model your business and say, okay, current tax law, new tax law, which one is better for my business? You need a modeler, right? Have you modeled the new tax law for next year and how it affects your business? You need to, right? So these are ideas, modeling. Then performance and evaluation and value creation. So you have your return on invested capital. You have your economic moats. What moats do you have? Drive, time activity metrics to margin and cash. Value bridges. You build a value bridge. So this way you can build a value bridge where you have revenue and cost, then you break it into branches and stuff, build a detailed value bridge and say, okay, where does value come from when you're doing your analysis? So mostly value will really come from return on invested capital. Return on invested capital is a big part of where value will come from, and growth. So you have your return on invested capital and growth. And if you check the value formula, right, so all sorts of interesting stuff. So I've gone deep. This is like the full ecosystem of what modeling is. And I'm sure it's pretty big, right? Yes, so stop sharing my screen. But that's modeling in a nutshell. So thanks for the question. I've gone full blown, explained the whole profession and the career in modeling. So once you understand the fundamentals, right, you need to continuously develop yourself because people will come up with all sorts of interesting things you need to do. You should be confident enough to be able to do it. You should be super confident. So thank you, sir, for the detailed explanation there. There's a formal certificate for FPA. There is a formal certificate for FPA. What's FPA? FPA sounds like an accounting certification, right? Is it? Tell me more about it. Okay, so any more questions? So I've given you a general understanding of the financial modeling ecosystem. And really, the most important thing for you is if you're interested in this, what skill sets do you need? You need some accounting skills. You don't need to be a perfect accountant. Some accounting skills. So you could go to Coursera and do a 2-week course or something on accounting. It's enough, right? You need some financial analysis skills. You need to have a general idea of financials, know how to analyze them, what it means. You need a big dose of critical thinking. If you're not a critical thinker, you can't really go deep into the numbers. You need to be a detail-oriented person. Yeah, and then of course you need Excel skills. You need some level of skills, spreadsheet skills. You need some, not the expert in Excel, but you still need to be pretty good in Excel, right? Those are the core skill sets. And then you need a good teacher. You need a good course. You need to be able to learn best practices from the start. So what I think you should do, go to the Financial Modeling Institute, know that this is the exam I want to do to prove to myself and the world that I'm a good modeler, and hopefully allow the world to hire me as a financial modeler, and then do a course. And if you're in Africa, even if you're not in Africa, I think the Financial Modeling Academy, sponsored by D. Brown Consulting, is the best way for you to start building that career, right? All right. Can we have a copy of the financial modeling breakdown? You have the video. Can we have a copy of financial modeling breakdown? Okay, maybe we'll do a laminate, but you'll get a copy if you come into the Financial Modeling Academy. I'll give you a copy there. But I mean, since you could watch this video and just, copy it, and just copy it. But we haven't created a laminate, but I think it's worth it. I'll probably talk to the team. Maybe we can do that, right? Okay. So I think that is the discussion. I was hoping to get more questions from you so I can answer. Again, you can either have a career, either working for a corporate, all the list of various companies or industries you could work for. I showed you at the Financial Modeling Institute. Or you could be a freelancer and start looking for gigs, right? While you're working, the weekend, do gigs or make it a full-time job, looking for gigs in financial modeling. There are many. And other tool I think you should learn is artificial intelligence. So watch that session I had on financial modeling and artificial intelligence to have a general idea, because artificial intelligence can do quite a lot of research for you. It can help you become a far better modeler. So with these few discussions, I hope you've enjoyed this session and understand what it takes to be a top financial modeler and how to start and gain a career in financial modeling. Remember, the Financial Modeling Academy is closing like right now. So if you're interested, you can get a huge discount. I'll play a video just to summarize it for you so you can see what it is you're getting by joining the Financial Modeling Academy. I think we'd like to say a big thank you to the Financial Modeling Institute, wonderful partners that have been able to crash the cost of making you a world-class financial modeler, giving you a new career that you can earn with and enjoy. So thanks, everybody. I'll see you in another webinar. Hi, I'm David Brown from D. Brown Consulting.
And hi there, I'm Ian Schnur from the Financial Modeling Institute, the FMI, in Toronto, Canada. We are very pleased to announce the launch of the Financial Modeling Academy, the FMA.
And the launch of a special scholarship for African residents and students. The FMA will open up employment opportunities as analysts in private equity, hedge funds, FP&A.
Thousands will be able to get employed as corporate or commercial bankers, work in private debt or equity research, and become a valued strategic advisor to any organization in the world.
And the Financial Modeling Academy takes just 8 weeks to complete at a fraction of the cost.
Click the link below or scan the QR code to join the next cohort of the Financial Modeling Academy today and supercharge your career in finance.
Hello, I'm David Brown. I'm here to talk to you about the Financial Modeling Academy Scholarship for Africa. We're so proud to bring this to you in partnership with Financial Modeling Institute. This completely crashes the price of the wonderful Financial Modeling Academy where you're going to learn all the different things in 8 weeks, all the different things about how you build models from scratch, evaluation, also understanding how to do the exam, the cost of the exam, the cost of actually the mock exam, the cost of the exam prep guide, the cost of all the past examination reviews, the cost of the program itself, and then the general cost of the community that you're going to join to answer all your questions. All of this at a hugely discounted rate. So click here to see how you can benefit from this wonderful experience, and let's join for the next academy and the next cohort. I'll see you in the next cohort.